I I traveled back to the time of Jesus.
And I run one of the biggest history vlog channels on the internet.
Most history creators read books.
Most historians visit museums.
But I do something different.
I travel through time.
At least, that's what nobody believes.
It started on a rainy Thursday night inside my video editing studio.
Multiple monitors covered the walls. Now, let me show you what I'm working on.
Half-finished documentaries filled my screens.
Ancient maps, history books, and camera equipment were scattered everywhere. I was editing a video about the Roman Empire when a metallic door slid open at the far end of the studio. Behind it stood my greatest secret. A time machine. For years, I had used it to witness some of history's most famous moments. But tonight, I had a destination unlike any other. The first century. The land of Judea. The era of Jesus. I grabbed my camera, stepped into the machine, and entered the coordinates.
A bright flash filled the room.
Then everything disappeared.
When the light faded, I found myself standing on a dusty road beneath the scorching Middle Eastern sun.
The world around me was completely different.
Stone houses lined the streets. Roman soldiers marched nearby. Merchants sold food in crowded marketplaces. People wore simple robes and sandals.
No cars, no electricity.
No modern buildings. Just history. Just history. I turned on my camera. Okay, guys, I whispered. I think I've actually made it.
As I explored the villages, I heard people speaking excitedly about a traveling teacher who was attracting enormous crowds.
Everyone seemed to know his name. Have you heard the stories? Yeah. They say he can perform miracles. I saw it with my own eyes. This man, he's different. Jesus.
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 Jesus. Wherever he went, people followed.
I joined one of the crowds moving across the countryside.
Thousands of people gathered to hear him speak.
The atmosphere felt unlike anything I had ever experienced.
People arrived, carrying hopes, fears, and prayers.
Many believed they were witnessing something extraordinary.
I watched from a distance as families, travelers, fishermen, and farmers
listened carefully to his teachings. Some people were filled with joy.
They don't believe him.
Not enough proof.
We need to be careful.
And some were openly hostile.
The divisions were impossible to ignore.
The more influence Jesus gained, the more tension seemed to grow around him.
He violates the Sabbath, he threatens our laws, but look at the people, they follow him. He is a dangerous heretic, nothing more. We must consider this carefully. Political leaders worried about unrest. Rumors spread through every town. I continued documenting everything with my camera. Look at the travelers gathered here and the public discussions happening around them.
What shocked me most wasn't the crowds.
It was the cruelty.
I saw people mocked. I saw the poor ignored. I saw powerful individuals treating others unfairly. Fear and corruption existed everywhere.
Many ordinary people lived difficult lives under Roman rule. The suffering was real. The tension was real.
And the conflict surrounding Jesus seemed to intensify with every passing day.
As weeks passed, the atmosphere became increasingly dangerous.
Arguments erupted in marketplaces.
Whispers filled the streets.
People debated endlessly about who Jesus was and what his growing influence might mean.
The closer I looked, the more I realized history was not as simple as textbooks made it seem. It was messy, complicated,
Human.
One evening, while standing on a hill overlooking the city, I lowered my camera and watched the sun disappear beyond the horizon.
For the first time since arriving, I stopped recording.
History wasn't just dates and events.
It was people. People.
Real people. Real people. Real people.
Living through moments they could never know would be remembered for thousands of years.
My time machine's recall signal suddenly activated.
A blue light appeared beside me. It was time to leave.
I stepped through the portal and returned to my editing studio.
The monitors flickered back to life.
The rain was still falling outside.
Only a few hours had passed. But I felt as if I had lived an entirely different lifetime.
I looked at the footage stored on my camera and smiled.
Guys, this might be the most important history vlog I've ever made.
And with that, I started editing.
I thought my journey was over.
But then I noticed a small group gathered on a nearby hillside. I grabbed my camera and started walking toward them.
And then I realized who was standing there. And it was Jesus. I couldn't believe I was actually standing face to face with him. I know this sounds impossible, but I'm from the year 2026.
People in 2027 might watch this video someday.
If you could say one thing to them, what would it be? For a moment, he looked out across the hills. Then he turned back toward me. No matter what time you live in, do not lose sight of compassion.
Treat people with dignity, especially when it is difficult.
And never underestimate the power of love, mercy, and forgiveness. I stood there in complete silence.
Then Jesus raised his hand and gave a blessing. The entire moment felt beyond words.
And that's when my recall signal activated. I knew it was time to go.